that just really, it goes to you know, again, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I've enjoyed that you do, it really comes from these sounds you get, like you're looping. I remember particularly when we were playing in TIGERcat, some of those loops that you'd come up with were just like, a lot of times I wouldn't even know they were guitars if I didn't know that they were coming from you.
Oh yeah.
Sounded so unique in the way that they, you know, it was like they had this rhythmic element to them. So you're, again, my hat off to you. You're like a master at creating these really cool tones and sounds and stuff like that. This, again, the TigerCat stuff I thought was really really great with that. And then when we did our thing with the Wicks, which for
Oh,
the
Wicks.
which basically means that nobody knows this because we never really actually did anything with it, but it was super fun for us. Although I have some pretty wicked demos. Yeah, I mean that was kind of like, you know, Queens of the Stone Age and Black Sabbath meets I don't know, Can or something like that. It was just had this really kind of drony repetitiveness, but with you know, this, you know, very I thought emotive and uh, I don't know, it's like you're speaking with the guitar. It was really cool. I just, that's kind of another reason why I often like duos of drums and guitar, just because
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, duo can be great.
yeah. If
Like,
you got two people that can really play it and fill the space when they need to, and then leave the space open when they don't, and it's well done. I mean, that's really all you need. So yeah, I was dug doing that.
it
So
changes the way you play the guitar too, because all of a sudden you turn into like this primary rhythm and ostinato machine,
sure,
where you've got you're not just like taking solos on top of a groove that's been established by another musician. You are the groove,
yeah.
and
And,
and and you're like in lockstep with the drummer.
yeah.
So it's super fun.
And I feel like we worked really well together because a lot of times I'll do a lot of tom work, which in essence was probably me subliminally replacing bass elements that weren't there. You know what I mean? And I would just play like, you know, Fire Hose was a big uh, influence on me early on, and that drummer George Hurley was really really kind of busy in some ways, but not busy, not like a Mitch Mitchell busy, not like you know, King Crimson-y kind of a thing. In other words, he would play riffs with drums and then repeat those, almost like what Bauhaus was pretty, or Love and Rockets, you know,
Mhm.
that was kind of that sort of thing with Kevin Haskins. Um, but yeah, I mean, I always really kind of like that, you know, like that's like that Queens of the Stone Age kind of pulsing, you know, like slight modifications to it, and you know, kind of build it. This, I guess, is why I really like dance music a lot. You know, if it's done right, you know, where it's something that's simple, you know, if it's really good and well put together, then you know you can go 8 minutes without realizing that you've actually heard one part.
Right, yeah, that one part is the right part. It's like, it's amazing. I think that that simplicity and repetition and those elements in music are sometimes really overlooked by people, and they just want to like make things not, I don't know, make them overly complicated, but there is a beauty in simplicity and in a groundedness and a repetition of an idea that moves you to begin with.
Yeah,
Just makes
absolutely.
it drive deeper.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like, again, you know, I like so many different things, and I know that you do too. And I think for me, that's what I think is really it helps to make a better musician. You know, if you've got um, a grab bag that has a lot of different choices versus, you know, I only like this, then your output could potentially be more interesting. And that's why I really like the idea that, you know, you can play something that's so technical and intricate, but then also kind of vamp out on something that's really simple. And again, a testament to your badassery. Uh, so I
Thanks, man.
and
Well, the feeling is mutual. I mean, God, playing with you has always been a joy.
well, we will get back to this. I hope sooner than later. Come on,
Yeah,
man,
right.
come on, figure it out. So yeah, I put out this release recently, for those that don't know, and my man Randy played on it, and I'm gonna play just a little bit of that, just to kind of just to play some of this again, this sort of that idea of the repetitive stuff, and then I want to kind of go into some of your other works as well. Um, but one thing that was really cool about this, I'll put it on here and I'll put it on low, just as it. so we can kind of talk over it until it comes to that part. But anyway, you did basically what you did for this song was I came to your house and I had you play a couple of these 3 riffs that are here over a totally different track that you had never heard before. And I remember going like, yeah, well, it doesn't totally fit that song exactly, but I mean, to no fault of your own, you literally heard it right then and came up with this motif. And I loved it so much that after listening to it, I went, I'm going to stop and build around that. So I pulled all the music out, I looped this thing into a few spots, and then built what you're hearing now underneath it. So this is it.
Great. Yeah. Well, that's like, you know, how cool you are is to find some inspiration in what we did, and then tear it all down and get at it. You know, that's wonderful. That's how you get somewhere.
And I could hear this really cool, you know, like the elements there. I was like, that's something. It's got to be something. So I started fresh. And then, you know, as we get towards the middle of the song, this one I just actually composited from pieces, because this one wasn't this part right here. That was me cutting and pasting little bits and making another little riff. But now I'm like, I want to play it with you again and have you kind of like just roll it around, and maybe we'll make it an 18-minute song.
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's super cool.
Anyway, yeah, thanks a lot for that. I was so happy to. I love. Again, I think we did like 5 songs together, and they're all in various formats of radness, and are coming out on various labels here and there.